Happy Tuesday, everyone. I have to say, this is the best-looking audience we have had so far. Yeah, yummy. There's more 10s than in the Christmas cards I give my staff. They're so they smile so much when they open it. But you people at home can't see this audience, but trust me, it's like looking at a sea of Larry Kudlows. The only man who can make sock garters sexy. But speaking of rich people, let's check in on Elon Musk, who may just be the best tweeter since Trump. It began Sunday with Musk tweeting about Twitter being super slow in other countries. That's when a Twitter engineer called out the Musk tweet, adding, quote, "I've spent 6 years working on Twitter and can say this is wrong." When someone pointed out, you probably shouldn't call out your boss publicly, he kept going. And that's when Musk hit back, he's fired. Now, if you don't find that hilarious, then you're not my friend, and you've never fired anyone who really deserves it. That's why I had a trap door installed in my office and hired a contractor who can keep a secret. But if I tweeted about how I run this show, I'd probably be arrested, possibly for murder. If you guys had any idea what I spent on bleach and rope alone last month, and that's just on the interns who made eye contact. But for Musk, it only gets better. On Sunday, he announced plans to end free lunches at Twitter headquarters, saying the meals cost the company $13 million a year. That's still $2 million less than The View spends on feeding Joy Behar. They don't like Joy.
Where did you get that picture?
I have them all at home.
Ew.
The problem was no one was coming to the office, and that was driving up the cost. They were throwing food away like it had been cooked by cat. But Musk making a sound business call made him even more evil. One Democrat activist wrote, quote, "He fired 3/4 of the employees. Now he's planning to starve the rest of them." Yeah, they're all gonna die because their bosses won't cover their sushi. What lamos. Here's a tip. You want a free lunch? Then brown bag it, you losers. It's what my staff does. It's great. I just take a bite from each one of their sandwiches. I haven't bought a lunch in years. They all got hepatitis. And what does Elon know about business anyway? I mean, he's just the world's richest man. Unlike some unemployed 32-year-old activist moaning on Twitter about food. The bottom line, it's great watching someone run a company with full transparency. He does everything with the door open, like when Ducey uses the bathroom on the plane. Even more, Musk is willing to ask seemingly obvious questions that no one ever had the guts to ask. Does that remind you of anyone? Yeah, when Trump was in charge, he would question everything from trade with China to the water pressure of showers.
But how about the shower? You go into a shower, and I have this beautiful head of hair right here. You turn on the water, drip, 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 and water comes dripping out, just dripping out very quietly. So what do? You just stand there longer, or you take a shower longer? Because my hair, I don't know about you, but it has to be perfect.
He sounds like Joe talking about taking a leak. Oh. But no wonder Musk has taken Trump's place as the left's top target. The only difference is Musk can't run for president, which is probably a good thing for the Dems, because he'd probably win. And speaking of the Dems, oddly, they're obsessed with bringing Musk down, but they don't seem to care about the Bitcoin bandit, Sam Bankman-Fried. The founder of a crypto exchange called FTX resigned last week after his company went belly up quicker than a 5-year-old's goldfish. So why no concern over him? Why haven't you heard of him until now? Well, he was Biden's second biggest donor and pumped millions into the Democratic Party. So imagine that coincidence. But it turns out he used his crypto company to borrow real dollars that he couldn't pay back. Reuters reported that between $1 and $2 billion of customer funds are gone. But not before the Dems spent $40 million of his money just in time for the midterms. Yeah, the timing is impeccable. Kind of like vanishing a story on the Biden family before the 2020 election. You know, I'm sensing a pattern here. So now his company's under investigation for a scam that could make Bernie Madoff look like an Eagle Scout. And where is the media? Well, they suspended their skepticism when it was so obvious this guy's a clown.
Sam is not a traditional billionaire because he believes in the concept of earn to give.
Earning to give is thinking about which causes, which charities save the most lives per dollar.
Next year, he's planning to donate $500 million a year. And next decade, he will probably give away more than $10 billion. And he is funding everything you can think of. Global warming.
It's one of the biggest problems that we have to tackle together as a world.
COVID-19 preparedness.
We have to be ready for the next pandemic.
And of course, animal welfare.
Animals deserve to live just like we do. It's also why I'm vegan.
Dude, if you're that rich, buy a bra. My God. Terrible.
Wow.
It's not body shaming, I'm just concerned. Now, if you believe anything that fruitcake says, maybe you should lose all your money. But he tricked them all with the right virtue signals, you've heard them, the right left-wing causes, and all the right cash. So will the media have any interest in digging further into a story filled with sex, drugs, and corruption? Well, maybe they should read Harris Faulkner's new book.
Oh, yeah. Greg, it's a book about prayer.
We're going to talk about it. But who am I kidding? The media has about as much chance of covering that story as a belly shirt does Jerry Nadler's navel. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so bright she fills in for the sun when it takes a day off. Host of the Faulkner Focus and author of the great new book, Faith Still Moves Mountains, Harris Faulkner. He's an inspiration to millions of men who also cut their own hair. The comedian behind Terrorizing Telemarketer 7, Jim Florentine. And she's always been driven to the psych ward, Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. And he eats soup out of the Astrodome, my massive sidekick in the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrant. Harris, first of all, I got your book, Faith Still Moves Mountains. I do as I always do. I look in the index under G, and there's only one entity under G, and it's not Gutfeld, it's God. If I'm going to be muscled out of the index, I'm glad it was God and not like, I don't know, Gary
Geraldo.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a book about faith.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord or God gets first credit.
There you go. All right. I don't know why you're clapping. You're all going to hell. What?
Well, you know who we're going to see there is Bankman.
Well, what do you make of that? I mean, the weird thing, you look at that, who would give money to somebody that is basically spouting just these like platitudes that are so obviously fake? Global warming's a problem and I'm a vegan.
So I'm less concerned about like just ordinary folk.
Yeah.
I want to know the money that flowed to Democrats.
Yeah.
Like we need to know, you talk about dark money, we don't find out about this guy until after the election and how much he swayed people. And you could make the argument, because the numbers match.
Right.
The 40 million and the 40 million that Democrats poured into races to lift up the far-right candidates that they thought they could beat. And in the end, they did.
Yeah, no, it worked. It was a sneaky little strategy, and I'm a little jealous that the Republicans didn't think of it, but it's true. Also, they funneled it through Ukraine or something. It's so confusing. I don't know what makes sense anymore.
We need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. Jim, do you enjoy watching people get fired on Twitter like I do?
I love it, man. I mean, Elon's basically auditioning for like The Apprentice, a reboot.
Yeah.
He's already got the catchphrase, "You're fired." It's great, but he's firing so many people over there. He's going to be answering the phone soon at Twitter.
Yes.
Like there's nobody left.
Do you like what he's doing?
I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, that employee can't call him out on Twitter.
Yeah, that's...
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and he just thought that nothing was ever going to happen to him. One good thing about that guy now, he'll save $8 a month because he's not getting a blue check.
Yes.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's true.
He's out.
That is true. Kat once called me a boomer.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up. We got into a huge fight because I called him a boomer on Twitter.
I think I blocked you.
No, you didn't. You DM'd me and you said, you handled it a lot better than he did. You DM'd me and you said, this is why I don't want to ever associate with you on Twitter or real life. He said that, and I was like, so do I? I was like, do I come to the meeting tomorrow, or not?
This is the problem with Twitter for people like me. Is generally if I'm on it, it's after work, it's at night, and I'm drinking. So it's like there's no other. I'm gonna get in trouble. No matter what, I've taken control of it. Now I have this experiment where I can look at my Twitter feed and you can't tell if I had a drink or not. That's progress.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it's better just not to.
But you did it by just making your sober self more unhinged.
Exactly. Do you want to talk about Bankman or Musk?
Either way, I mean, I could have talked so much about Bankman, but yesterday my husband was coming up and trying to talk to me about this, and I was like, that's boring, shut up, Bachelor in Paradise is on. And then I see it on the rundown, I'm like, I had a finance bro to tell me all these finance bro things, and I told him to stop talking. Yeah, but I just do think that you should have known this guy wasn't rich because he's 28 years old and he's still that ugly.
Yes. Nice. It's true.
Have you ever seen another 20-something rich, ugly person? No, you have not.
No, that's true.
Because money solves any cosmetic issue that you might have.
Right. Right.
I wish that were true.
I think so far it is. This is the first of many.
Yes.
Sure.
I don't believe he was actually a billionaire, Tyrus.
No.
Do you buy
No.
Yeah.
No. What? What? Okay, first of all, his ad campaign was like Step Brothers without the really good actors.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand in front of a refrigerator with nothing but condiments saying, I'm a vegan.
Yes.
And you don't stand in front of the ocean talk about global warming. Like,
He also said he was for global warming.
yeah.
He was like, he hasn't even done the homework.
But they were putting him everywhere. The camera crew alone should have let you know that money was tight.
Yeah.
Like, they had one camera and a mirror. Like, that should have let you know. And you can't talk about your boss in an open forum. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know how many times I've grabbed your phone and be like, Mr. Murdoch's not going to like that. No. Can't do that. It doesn't, so it wasn't the fact that he was fired, it was the tweet that followed where the guy goes, well, I guess I'm fired. You guessed? You contradicted your boss. He talked about you in past tense. He's fired.
Yeah.
He didn't say, you're fired.
He said,
He's fired, which means paperwork done, exit interview already happened. Bad.
And the best thing is the guy admitted he failed. He says, I worked there for 6 years and this is all wrong. And it's like, what did you do? You didn't.
What did any of them do?
Yes.
All they did was say, no one liked Gutfeld.
Yes.
That's all they said.
Yes. And I saw that. Yeah.
They ate free lunches.
Yeah, they had free lunches.
You know what? I have a vision that they're sneaking back in, getting the food, and then going to work from home. Because how did they not notice that?
Oh, yeah, they came to work for lunch and then went home.
I would do that.
I mean, they're still spending the $13 million on the food.
Yeah.
So either somebody has absconded with the $13 million or they're still eating
That's
it.
a lot of money.
Or is that the whole "you can't shame me" campaign came from? You can't fat shame me because I'm eating $13 million worth of food.
So he's eating it all.
We got to move on.
Somebody did.
Crazy people. All right. I knew that was going to be a good block.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.